And there's a little delay, so I'll just talk.
Okay.
So, hi everyone. We are live. It's 7:59. I'm here with Alexia McKay, publisher of Royaltee magazine. How are you?
I am well. How are you? And it's actually Alexia.
Oh, Alexia, excuse me. I'm so nervous. Alexia, everybody's probably laughing. This is everyone that this is a LinkedIn Live. It's Alexia and Donnella, and we are here. We're going to start in a minute. Thank you so much for joining us, Alexia. Glad to have you.
Yes, I'm excited to be here. Thank you. I'm looking
And
forward to it.
this will be a lot of fun. It's 7:59, so we're just going to wait for people to come in. You may be able to see. I'm going to Alexia put the comments. Sometimes people comment on the show. I'll
Hmm.
post them up so you can see them too. So this will be fun.
Okay, can I share your live? Is it weird if I share?
It might be, but we're okay. We can be.
Oh,
LinkedIn's already sharing, so LinkedIn's
oh,
going
okay.
to share it. Yeah, we're going to be all set.
Okay, cool. So I don't have to do
Yeah.
anything.
So we are. Yeah, we're literally live on LinkedIn now.
Oh, oh my God, I see me. Okay, let me go back to the screen. Let me go back to the regular screen because
Yeah, just close
that's
out of
like
LinkedIn. That's how you go. So
yeah, because I'm gonna be looking on the other screen. It's gonna be looking
you're like,
weird.
but
Like
this is what make lives fun. So hello everyone, I'm Donnella Tillery. I'm Careers with Donnella. I'm a resume writer. I'm a career coach. I work with people, and I love connecting with people on LinkedIn. And when I saw Alexia McKay was a publisher, I loved her LinkedIn profile. Again, she has a great LinkedIn profile for those of you out there. And I was able to connect with her. And I wanted today to spend a few minutes with Alexia, interviewing her about what she does and a little bit about her as a publisher. She's a multimedia journalist, she's an entrepreneur, she's a motivational speaker. And I thought this was a great person to talk to get today. So, hi, Alexia, how are you?
hi, I'm fine, Donnella. How are you?
I am great. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us today. So, we're going to start off with first, how are you? And
I am well. It's a Friday, so anytime there's a Friday, like my mood just instantly just goes up, just for it to be Friday.
right, exactly. So what we're going to do is now we're going to get into the interview questions right away. So
Okay.
you are first tell everyone what you do and the name of your publication.
Ooh, what do I not do? That is the question that you should have started with. Well, I am a former television producer. I am a multimedia journalist. I am a magazine publisher and editor in chief. I'm actually the founder of Royaltee magazine. Royaltee was founded in 2018. It's a lifestyle print and digital magazine, and we focus on millennial minorities who are just making strides and creating opportunities, whether that's in business, arts, humanitarian work, entrepreneur endeavors. We also celebrate our career people, whether our dualpreneurs. So shout out to my individuals who are still working at 9 to 5 and still building their brand at the same time. I recently got into PR, so been dabbling in that a little bit. So it's been fun. I can't say dabbling because I actually work a PR job now, but
Okay.
yeah. So and that's just pretty much a little bit of everything. So I'm always into something, doing something. Like my calendar, if you see it, it's just insane, but I keep it together.
Now there's so many people. I used to work in fashion years ago, and I worked for a publishing house. So
Mhm.
why? So I'm really curious. Why did you start your publication?
Well, when I was working in television, I was working. Actually, I live here in Florida. I've been working
Mhm.
in Florida for a little over a decade, and I was a television producer in South Florida, more like well mid South Florida, Sarasota, where you want to call that. That's South Florida to me. Going towards it, and just working in TV news, there will always be these hard. Every other time, there was a story about Black people, African Americans. It was always crime. It was always hard. We didn't really spend enough time just covering the positivity and what people are doing in the community. And it was so many stories like that. Even if it was not positivity, it was just issues that were just relevant to the African American community that I felt like didn't get enough spotlight. I didn't really see a lot of people on the news like me, whether you're celebrating something or going through something. I just didn't see any representation, which is so important today. So I decided that I wanted to create my own platform where I can investigate those stories more, look into those issues more that are relevant to the Black community, highlight people who are like me because I'm an entrepreneur, thinker, I actually went to school. I graduated Florida A&M University, and ironically, my degree was in magazine production. So when I was in school, I was just like, I don't know if you've seen the Sex and the City show, but Carrie Bradshaw, I wanted to just move to New York, write for a magazine, and just write my life away. That's really all I wanted to do. It went from magazine to CNN to magazine. I didn't know what I want. I just know I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a journalist. And when I graduated, television was what really gave me my first job. Mm-hmm. So I worked as a television producer for years, and I really didn't get into magazine. I guess started using my degree until a couple of years ago when I started developing the magazine, and I wanted to create a platform for people that I saw like myself in my circle, young people who are just doing phenomenal things, this had these phenomenal accomplishments and achievements. I wanted to celebrate them and also give you the platform to share your story, to share your brand, to let you know that you're not out there. And it was also encouraging to myself to let me know that I'm not alone or whatnot. There's a whole village out there of royalty, of young men and women who are just in the struggle or just making strides just like me. And over the years, Royaltee is growing into that platform of relatability, of empowerment. We're constantly changing because, I'm a millennial, so we set the groundwork for this social media right here. Yeah. But recently we've branched out into a different brand. So we have Royaltee Magazine, and Royaltee Girls is more focused on our Gen Z population. So our Gen Z. So, Gen Z, we got cool, we're cool auntie age now. So Gen Z, they're cool TikTok age, right? So we had to separate audiences, but both are growing. But I was really, to answer your question, just to highlight more stories that are relevant to my community. We're really big on advocates such as mental health, especially in the African American community. You do a lot of things on mental health and Black women wellness. Our next issue, by the way, is going to be focused on Black maternal mortality and Black women wellness.
That's and just topic now.
And bringing awareness to that. So if anyone who is listening, if you are a doctor or someone who has a story related to that, I would love to connect and reach out to you and share your story in your platform, because I always tell people you never know how your story can inspire and empower someone else. So I always encourage people to just share your story, share your testimony, share your fails too, because your fails or sometimes your biggest, they end up being your biggest triumphs in the end. You have to fail to win sometimes. So that's what Royaltee has been. It's been great.
And that's amazing. And I think what's interesting, because everyone on LinkedIn talks about brand and their personal brand. So, and I know we had some pre-planned questions, but I'm kind of curious because you kind of branched off. How do you stay clear, because you're a journalist too, how do you stay clear on the brand so you maintain that same audience, you keep your audience and you still grow? Because I think that's something that a lot of people are challenged with. Like me as a resume writer, I'm always challenged. I have a certain clientele that I go after. A publication, if they change, like publications changes over years, people age and that. Talk a little bit about how you kind of your process about keeping the brand, and if that makes sense, and really, defining your audience.
Well, Royaltee, in a sense, is a reflection of me. It grows with me. In my audience, we're growing. We're always changing our minds. Our mind, I feel like, it's always evolving. I think I'm at an age where we're just your 20s. We're like, I'm just still trying to figure it out. Your 30s, it's like, I think I got an idea, but I'm still kind of a little cloudy on some things, but I'm getting it together. And that's pretty much what the brand of Royaltee represents. And personally, as a publication, it's that fine line between being an entertainment magazine to being a lifestyle, because I feature both. But I had to remember on what Royaltee stands for and why I created it in the first place whenever I feel lost. So Royaltee stands for to triumph, to evolve, to be elite. So it features, I have to remember that it features people who are winning, who are triumphant. It features people who are evolving, are constantly changing, we're growing, whether it's through our mistakes, whether it's through life lessons, adulting, as we like to say, we're evolving, and we're just being elite. we had to be elite. We had to bring our A game into any and everything that we do, especially as people of color. And we're royalty. That is our legacy. Our legacy is royalty. We come from a lineage of royalty, and just put history in it. Our history did not start on slave ships and chains. It is a reminder of our history and our legacy and what we carry among ourselves. And like, we should carry ourselves with respect. We should respect one another. You should value your self-worth. Just respect yourself as a man and a woman, as a person. And once I understand who I'm talking to and my brand, then it's easy to stay genuine to it. I find it easy not to fall into those traps. And I personally had a hard time this coming up because working in media, you get publicists and everything like, hey, run this, do this, do that. And right. I had a hard time with this one word, no. Like, no. But the year 2022 has been like a year of no's, because if it doesn't work for my brand, it just doesn't work. I'm just not going to say I'm not going to say yes and discover anything if it doesn't adhere to the brand and messaging of what royalty is. Like, for example, I'm not going to do celebrity gossip.
Okay. So I can't go to Love and Hip Hop, all my reality shows.
But that's not to say in my personal, I talk about it or whatever. Right. We may touch on it a little bit because we have a segment called Royalty Talks, and we may touch on it a little bit, but it's not in a way to bash people. We're not a celebrity gossip site, so it's a fine line between that. So I'm really we can recap shows and everything all we want, but I'm just not a gossip site. My site is really about growth, whether that's a mental growth, whether that's a professional growth, whether that's relatability. We talk about health, relationships. We talk about travel. We talk about career. Any career topics, financial literacy, motherhood, fatherhood, because people, of course, my age are parents or want to be parents. What are your cool aunties or uncles, whatever. Right. So great. Yeah, we talk about a variety of things. So I just think for anyone, you understand your brand and who you're speaking to and who you are, then it's easier to stay genuine to it and not fall into those I have to do these traps.
And that's really important. And talk about, because I think everyone wants to be in media. Someone's looking at this now saying, oh, I think I want to contact Alexia on LinkedIn and submit my story. Talk about or clarify, how do people, what are your 3 things that you look for in a submission? Let's start there first. 3 things you look for in a submission.
Originality. Because, of course, Royaltee magazine, we do not tolerate plagiarism.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Oh, that plagiarism. We don't have the time or the money to be paying people off saying that you stole their content. So that's number 1, originality. Number 2, I'm looking to hear and see your voice. I really love diversity in royalty, because if it was left up to me and I wrote everything from me, it just, you're only seeing my perspective on things, one voice. So I really welcome diversity in pieces and just hearing from different perspectives, whether we agree or disagree, or it's just another interesting way to look at something. So diversity. And also personality. I'm looking for content and stories that people are like, wow, that's me. And if they could do it, I could do it.
Relatable and things like that.
The relatability. Yeah. If they could do it, I could do it. Oh, he or she, they've been through exactly what I'm going through or whatnot. And that's really impactful, especially when we talk about our health stories and those sensitive topics that we make a touch on sometime, and self-care. And I've really been pinging at that mental health, like self-care type of thing. It's so important. So those would be the 3 things that I look for: originality, your personality, and relatability.
That's great. And talk about, now we know what you like. Now some people don't understand how. I don't know if you can share, how should they submit something to get their article or to be featured or if they're representing someone? People really, because you've been in media for years and you've worked on TV and that, is there a tip or anything you can share with people? I have this submission. How do I even submit it to you properly where you might look at it. Because I don't know, people would like when I talk to talent recruiters, like I had one with Lisa, and they get hundreds and hundreds of submissions. So I imagine the same thing with you. Everyone feels they have this a great, amazing, unique story, and you probably on your end probably seen that story 50 times. So I don't know, how should people submit it to you? And I know you talked about the originality, the personality, relatability. I guess, how would I submit a story to you if I didn't know you and, I want to connect with you on LinkedIn?
Well, I always tell people, and this is just my experience just working in news, television news for so long, and now just dipping into PR, get to the point. Let me know right away why you're emailing and writing me.
Just like our cover letters, we say in the resume world, get to the point.
It's when you're, and technically what you're talking about is a pitch. And that's technically what you're doing, is you're pitching to a publication or you're pitching to a news outlet. Get to your point, like the first 2 sentences. I need to know who you are and why you're reaching out to me. Hi, I'm, would you be interested in talking to discuss the type of thing? Right. And a few sentences, maybe some points that we can hit on during an interview, or that they may be a thought leader or expert in discussing, and we can talk about those things. Because what I've come across, at least working in TV, I used to work as a producer and on the news side desk, and we used to have a term. We have a term. My TV people would know it. It's called burying the lead. You're burying this story. So I'm reading through half of these pitches, and I really don't know, like, blah, blah, blah. This is the story right here in the second paragraph. You should have started with this, because sometimes a lot of people will have great stories, but you just don't know how to pitch it right. You just don't know how to tell it right. So I would just suggest this simple, straight and to the point. And this is how you can get in touch with me to learn more, or whatever it is. And also do some research on the brand, particularly my brand. If you're looking to pitch to Royaltee, what kind of content did they already have on there? Would this be of interest to me? Would this be of interest to them? And that's another thing that I tell writers as well. If it's not interesting to you, it's not going to be interesting to me. It's not going to be interesting to our audience.
Right.
So don't even pitch it or whatnot. And also just bring your originality. And it's not a place to be creative. It's more, like I said, short and sweet and straight to the point. And just be original. Just and in the end of the day, let us know what you want and why you're contacting us. And for any submissions, as far as like on a royalty end, you can always submit to editor@royalteemagazine.com. That's actually the email that comes to me. We're always accepting submissions for the website. We're always looking for original content, especially with current events and any features we have. You mentioned that I get press releases and everything every day. Listen, I would gladly assign you one of these features and these people that you can get that interview. You can talk to them, because I don't have to do it, because I'm the publisher. I have way more on my plate to do. But yes.
And this is great too, because actually this is my friend Gabrielle, hi, too, because I know some people too, there's photographers that want to submit things, there's artists. I mean, I guess they go through, is that the same channel? Sometimes I always talk about writing, but I realize, people may have great shots, or they want to work freelance for you. Can you talk a little bit about that? Since this is LinkedIn, we got to kind of talk about the job portion.
How you can get to me?
only if you want to. This is
no. Royaltee is a growing company, so we are always accepting people. We're still growing it small. So same email, editor@royalteemagazine.com or publisher@royalteemagazine.com. We're always accepting freelance work and projects. You can always contact as a freelance worker, and I can let you know what we have in the bin, whether that's freelance and working on a website. Right now, I am looking into doing contract work with people. So just having you on for a certain time, just working with Royaltee and creating content for us, versus just like a one and done type of thing, which is what some writers like, and that's cool. But I always like to give people the option, especially if you love the brand and you want to stick around a little longer, then please stick around. I would love that, because that's one less thing I have to worry about, especially if you're good at what you do. Graphic designers, we're always looking for people with excellent experience in layout and content work.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, believe it or not, I do a lot of the layouts. So that would be a great help. And also interns. We have interns every semester. So spring and summer and fall. Right now, we have our spring interns. We do social media internships as well as editorial internships. Each semester, the group, they get a group project to work on. So for example, last semester, the group was working on a rebranding project for Royaltee Girls, which I told you about earlier, that we're rebranding for Gen Z. So this semester, the students are working on an editorial spread that we're going to publish in the summer magazine of Royaltee Girls about Black content creators, like this content creators on TikTok and Instagram, and people who are just taking over. And so they've been working on that. But yes, it's help all around. This editor of Royaltee magazine for anyone who's interested in collaborations, freelance work, whatever, however you feel like you could be a need or a contribution, then editor of royalteemagazine.com, or you could also DM me here on LinkedIn as well.
Oh, that's great. So now I'm going to shift it to personal because it is Friday night. I want to make it fun
Friday.
Now. Close out. So we're going to talk about that. So you talked a little bit. I don't know if I asked you about some of the projects. Can you share because I follow you, of course, on LinkedIn. You have so many cool projects. We were talking beforehand. A few of your projects that you're working on, personal, professional, anything you want to share on LinkedIn?
Well, I just did my first vlog on YouTube.
Right.
I've been recently, that just has nothing to do with the magazine. It's just me just getting out of my comfort zone and doing something out of the norm and just blogging. And this past weekend, I went to the Disney Dreamers Academy and I thought, okay, why did I try to document my experience? At first, it was a little weird, like talking to myself on the phone. So I'm here like walking around talking to myself, but people are looking at me weird. I'm like, I'm doing a vlog, whatever. But I guess this is how it goes. That was the cool thing that I did, which is up on YouTube. The only thing I need to figure out is like, how do vloggers do it? Because my storage is gone from my phone with all these videos I've been documenting all weekend. So I had to like transfer it to my Dropbox before I could delete it off my phone. I need my phone space back. And that's just on a personal end. Also, I am the chapter president for the Tampa Bay Association of Black Journalists. That's an experience in itself, and I'm very honored to have that position. As far as how Royaltee is, we are a quarterly publication, so we come out spring, summer, fall, winter. The next issue is actually coming out spring. Later on this month, we're going to be debuting the cover, and I'm not feature we're going to share on the cover, but it's someone very special. If you watch a certain Netflix show, it's dealing with real estate, then you will recognize this person. So I'm really excited about that without saying too much.
Okay. No pressure. We'll just stop. Everyone will share.
I would make sure that when the cover drops, I'm going to share it with you. Yes. But I'm really excited, and just planning out the calendar. We have a lot of exciting projects that we're working on in the summer. That's why I just said, hey, freelancers, I'm here in Florida. I'm also looking for people like in LA and Atlanta who wants to work with Royaltee Magazine. So particularly if you're in those two cities, then yes, please contact me. I would love to work with you and get you on the team. And looking on expanding the magazine as far as offering subscription based. A lot of people have been asking me, like, does your magazine have subscription? I'm like, no, I'm trying to do that. So that should be, so I'm working on doing that and debuting that sometime before the summer, making it a magazine subscription, whether that's magazine or a combination of the website. So you have certain access to the website, magazine, making a community. I'm working on doing that. And also doing what you're doing. I told you this before the interview. I want to interview people like this and get StreamYard and expand our segment, Royaltee Talks. We have a YouTube segment called Royaltee Talks. It's more like a one-on-one thing, but it's more so like in person. But obviously you can't meet everybody in person. So it would be nice to have a virtual place for Royaltee Talks where we could talk about, well, you said Love and Hip Hop or whatever. I haven't watched Love and Hip Hop in years. I probably haven't watched it since CBJ or something. I don't know what's going on right now, whatever. But yeah.
Now,
go ahead. I'm sorry, one more thing. Royal Men is also part of Royaltee Magazine. So working on making the brand more co-ed. So I would definitely, if there are any men out there listening, millennial age, young men who want to get involved, then see how we can man it up a little bit, then I'm here.
And that's great. That's great because men do need, I know men are always talking about they need their space. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
really good. Now,
Yeah.
how do you, now you're obviously very positive, very energetic. How do you keep yourself motivated? You have all these different projects, but how do you keep yourself centered? I ask everyone that I interview. Tell us a little bit about what you do to keep yourself centered, positive. It's a lot. You're high pressure. You got an editorial calendar. So, share with us your tips.
I mean, I have an editorial calendar that I meet, and sometimes I don't meet. The only person that doesn't know that I didn't meet my deadline is me.
Right.
But
Right.
and maybe the advertiser, right? So I'm like, oops, actually, it's coming out a couple of days later. Some things happen.
Right.
But to be honest with you, I'm still learning. And
Mhm.
therapy has really helped with that. I started taking therapy, going to therapy maybe
Oh,
like
okay.
a little over a year ago, and it's really given me just a new perspective on just self-care and taking care of
Mhm.
myself, and it's taking time out for me. I like to read a lot. I have a lot of affirmations that I like to read because sometimes I feel like I be really hard on myself. This struggle, this inner struggle of just not feeling fulfilled, or I'm not doing enough or whatnot. Or I used to look at other people's stuff like, man, why are they moving and not me? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
my earphone came out.
It's okay.
So learning how to give myself some grace and just give myself kudos on accomplishments that I have done, and just unplug it and understanding that everyone's like, we're not traveling the same road at the same time, and everyone's
Exactly.
struggle and journey is different. And just learning how to accept and appreciate my own, that has been a reminder. And also just my village, my support. I have incredibly supportive family. I have incredibly close friends who I could call and vent and cry. They already see my name, like, oh gosh, what is it now? And I'm like, I just need you to listen. This is going on, and just talk me from off a mental cliff sometimes.
Right.
So just having that village, and you have to stay positive. One thing that I've learned through therapy is you doesn't matter what's going on in your day or what you're going through, you dictate how you're going to feel that day. So if you're going to wake up and decide like, I'm just going to let the world just fall on top of me, then that's just the kind of attitude that you're going to carry throughout the day, and anything that comes your way, that's just what it's going to feel. It's going to feel like a pressure and heavy moment. But if you wake up a day and it's like, hey, I'm just blessed to wake up another day. I'm ready to take over. I'm ready to give it my all. I'm ready to this another day to explore my full potential. Yesterday may have been a bad day, or I may have not done some things I should have done, or I could have done better. But hey, today is a new day. It's all in the past, and that's just the joy of learning and is moving forward. And that's the attitude that I'm learning. And I say I'm learning because some days I fail. I tell my viewers all the time. I tell my viewers all the time. It's like I have a brand that's all about positivity, confidence, empowerment, and I have to eat those words myself. And so, maybe Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I do. Tuesday and Thursday I don't. We're human, and it's a journey, and that's why I have to give myself grace, and I accept people who give grace for themselves as well. So just reminding myself of those things is just kind of like how I keep going.
And that's really great.
And prayer.
Yeah, definitely. And tell me, what book are you reading, or what's your favorite book? Something that you can recommend to people out there. It could be anything fun.
I like a lot of books.
But one thing that's ever used to say, everyone right now, pick it up right now after this talk.
Really?
I know. I'm asking a publisher that, and someone who worked in media. So it's like,
you know what? I'll list a couple of things. Some of them may be
recommendations.
I'll recommend a couple of things. For one, I do like Michelle Obama's Becoming book. It took me forever to finish it. I'm not going to lie, because I just kept getting distracted and putting it down. But I am just in love with her story. I like Michelle Obama's Becoming book. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I like Toni Morrison, The Bluest Eye. I love Richard Wright, Native Son. I like a lot of Harlem Renaissance authors. I'm not going to lie. And just on the I call it nerdy side, but if any Potterheads, I love Harry Potter.
Oh, I mean, gosh.
Just reading it from a younger, that just really, like a young age or whatnot, that really kind of just opened up my imagination. That and the author Anne Rice, I really loved. It's opened up my imagination just to say like, hey, just to dream big and manifest big. And I really love that there were these kids and heroes that were just doing things like my age, and they were just doing all these incredible things or whatnot, and me just being a fantasy person, and I just love that kind of things. And just getting lost in a book is what I strive for. And especially doesn't matter what it is, whether it's from Toni Morrison to J.K. Rowling to Michelle Obama. Now I'm reading Barack Obama's book. Right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just getting lost in a book and getting lost in the words and just the creativity. I think that's a writer in me. I just paint a picture in my head and just go there and just for a moment or just for a few hours, just be somewhere different or whatnot is really what inspires me.
And that's great, because that's a great thing when you talk about the self-care and just taking that mental downtime, because that's what I tell people, that's important. So what is your guilty pleasure to watch that you can mention on LinkedIn? No judgments. But I asked all my guests before we close out.
A guilty pleasure. I talk a lot about it because I don't like talking about it for royalty. But I really like Real Housewives of Atlanta.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame. 90 Day. Shout out to Aubrey Flanagan if she's on this. We're talking different people. There's different people.
I would say it's so, I don't know, entertaining to me. Kind of makes me sad as a Black woman because I feel like I don't want to be their age and still in this nonsense. I'm like, count me out of it.
Entertainment. We're not going to be. We're just going to say entertainment. Just
entertainment. Okay, we'll say entertainment.
That's it.
And I also like, I don't know if it's like guilty pleasure because it's actually a really good show. I like Power.
Okay.
I like Power. I like the Power book. And I'm still researching conspiracy theories if Ghost is dead or not. And I guess he's really dead. And I'm trying to accept that. Walking Dead.
Okay.
I like The Walking Dead. I watch that every Sunday. But you said something that's kind of guilty. I feel like it's like guilty pleasures.
It just gives people perspective what people don't think. Like I like anime. Like I like horror. So people kind of think one thing on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
so
and I like Family Guy too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I like watching episodes of Boondocks. I wish they'll bring it back.
They're not
like this culture today. In the age of cancel and woke culture.
No, they can't.
They don't be no Boondocks. No, it won't come back. And
let it be a classic.
Yeah, I had to relive it. You know, that's why I had the reruns. But yeah, those are my go-tos that I really like.
So we're going to close out. This was great. I want to close out because you said that you say a lot of affirmations. So I always have someone, there's someone looking at this that hopefully you inspire because you're so, warm and engaging. So I want to close out with you maybe saying an affirmation or something to inspire someone to follow their dream, whether it's being a publisher, a writer, or author, anything out there, an IT person, anything.
Well, you dream big, you get big. But dreams without goals are just dreams, as my good sis Kelly Rowland said this past weekend, and I received that. So I would encourage anybody who's listening to just seek your full potential and don't be afraid of the word no. Don't be afraid of fear, and just be confident in yourself. And if you go out every day just being confident in yourself, confident in who you are as a person, confident in who you are as a brand, then you can accomplish anything, but also understand humility in it. There, it takes work. It takes a little, it's going to take some tears because success is not going to come overnight. It's going to take some humility. So always remain humble and just manifest big and put the work in. And always know that you're not alone, whether that's people in your village, people in your circle, or just someone like me, because I'm really here in this road with you. And I always tell people it's that relatability. Like I don't pretend that I have it all together, because I don't have it all together. And I'm quick to tell someone that. And it's okay that you don't have it all together. But as long as you have another day to make it better, you're a work in progress, and you're working on being your better self, being a better woman, being a better man, being a better entrepreneur, or being a better career person, mother, father, whoever you want to be. There's another day to get it better. And you're fortunate enough to wake up on this earth alive and warm blood in your veins, then the world is yours.
And that's great. And we have one comment. I apologize. Rob, first of all, excuse me for a minute. Rob, shame on you for not having your picture. We need to know who you are and that you're a real person. However, Rob asked a good question, because Rob, I'm going to find you. He's asking what's the best way to reach you in your network. I think you kind of answered that, but I just wanted to show that if you wanted, again, how can people, the best way to connect with you?
Well, of course, we're here on LinkedIn. So I promise I'm going to do better building up my LinkedIn page for Royaltee.
I'm going to be looking at it.
Yeah, I'm going to do better. It's just like I have like 5 social media pages for just one platform. Right. But follow Royaltee Enterprises. You can follow us on LinkedIn, and as well as personally contact me at editor@royalteemagazine.com or publisher@royalteemagazine.com. We're also on Instagram and Twitter at Royaltee Mag. That's ROYTA. Oh, heart emoji. Thank you. ROYALTEE Mag. And we're also on Facebook. So like us on Facebook. And of course, royalteemagazine.com.
Alexia, thank you so much. I love doing this. I tell my guests, thank you. Now you can relax and breathe Friday night. For those of you out there, thank you for watching. I'm Donnella Tillery, career coach, resume writer. I love doing LinkedIn Lives. Alexia, this is amazing. I'll check your LinkedIn later. I'm not going to press you on the weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
This was so much fun. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching us. You'll be able to see the recording. And again, Royaltee Magazine, let's pick it up and support Alexia. Thank you, Alexia. It was wonderful.
You're welcome.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.